So here's a validation rule I've created for this example, and it basically tests that all subsystem blocks have to own at least one part property. So notice we've named the validation rule subparts. It constrains subsystems, which means it'll be applied to every subsystem in the model when the validation rule is run. We provided an error message that helps the modeler understand what the problem is, and we've set the severity to be an error. And so there's different levels of this. There's debug, info, warning, fatal. I would argue if you've got like a rule that collects or detects possible spillages, you'd want to make that fatal and make sure you couldn't commit the model. So there's a whole palette of choices here as far as how severe this should be. But here's where the magic happens in the specification. And for this to work correctly, you need to more or less understand how magic draw works. And so in this case, the secret to success is the member property. So member returns all of the inherited as well as owned value properties, part properties, ports, that sort of thing. So the easiest way to test for what we're looking for is to return all the members. So in case it inherits parts, it passes. And to filter down here by part property. So this returns a collection of all of the part properties that this subsystem owns or inherited. And we're testing that with an isEmpty. So we're checking if this collection is empty, it's going to return a true. And because we want that to actually be the fail condition, we insert the not here above it. So this is a very common type of test I'll run, a not isEmpty. And so again, there's a variety of ways to stack this logic up, but the intent is that things that pass will have a true, things that fail will have a false. So we're going to go ahead and run this validation rule to show how this works. And so here are some example subsystems, and we're going to go to analyze and validate this. And notice that they all pass because they have parts. So I'm going to refactor this to a subsystem block. And now when I rerun the validation, it's going to fail. And it should turn red and give us the warning. So notice down here in the validation rule, it explains what the problem is. It actually, if we check it in the example blocks here, notice there's an X to show us there's an error in this package. We can scroll down and see the element has the red X. It's displayed here. Again, this is a really convenient way to improve model quality by writing rules that enforce your style guide and other constraints you wish to impose on modelers. It makes it really easy to find, detect, and repair errors.